Hi, it's Maureen Muldoon, and we're here with lesson 100 of A Course in Miracles, the workbook lessons. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. Hey, I like them apples. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. Better not screw this up. Just as God's Son completes his Father's, so your part in it completes your Father's plan. Salvation must reverse the mad belief in separate thoughts and separate bodies, lead separate lives and go their separate ways. One function shared by separate minds unites them in one purpose, for each one of them is equally essential to all. So it's saying that God is this great mosaic, and we're each a little square, a little tile, and we're each responsible for that tile of the great mosaic of God, and that we complete God. God's will for you is perfect happiness. More good news. Why should you choose to go against his will? The part that he has saved for you to take in working out his plan is given you that you might be restored to what he will. This part is as essential to his plan as your happiness. Your joy must be complete to let his plan be understood by those to whom he sends you. They will see their function in your shining face and hear God calling to them in your happy laugh. Isn't that awesome? Basically what that means is that God loves us so much that he's given each of us a role to play. Laugh. Isn't that good news? So basically it's saying that God loves each of us so much that the part that he's given us is the part that makes us the most happy. Isn't that amazing? I think that's, of course, it sounds so lovely, and why wouldn't it be that way? Why wouldn't I want to give my own kids the tasks and missions that would make their heart sing? So God is the same way. And in order to really be of service to the will of God, it requires for all of us to be kind of happy calling cards for God. And if you're not doing something that makes your heart sing and makes you feel lit up, if you're in a relationship that is draining you, you have full permission to choose again, my friend. God needs you to be happy and needs you to be engaging in the aspects of your life that bring you the most happiness. Believe it or not, that's it. You are indeed essential to God's plan. Without your joy, God is incomplete. Without your smile, the world cannot be saved. While you are sad, the light that God himself appointed as the means to save the world is dim and lusterless, and no one laughs because all laughter can but echo yours. Wow. That's how important it is for you to be happy. And it says in A Course in Miracles, would I rather be right or would I rather be happy? And the correct answer is, I would rather be happy. But we choose, fighting and trying to be right and engaging in war and ridicule and crucifixion and condemnations, and we drain our ability to be present and in love. So the good news is we get to try again. We get to choose again and again and again and again. So it goes on to say, you are indeed essential to God's plan, just as your light increases every light that shines in heaven. So your joy on earth calls to all minds to let their sorrow go and take their place beside you in God's plan. God's messengers are joyous, and their joy heals sorrow and despair. They are the proof that God wills perfect happiness for all who will accept their Father's gifts as theirs. So there's two steps home, There's two steps home. One is recognizing and letting go all that you're not. Om Namah Shivaya, burn away from me everything that I'm not. And the second step is stepping into what you really are, stepping into your true happiness, being okay with saying yes to what lights you up. This is a quote from somewhere. It says, we're successful in the first step to the degree with which we're willing to question everything. And so that's the truth and the whole truth. We will not let ourselves be sad today, for if we do, we fail to take the part that is essential to God's plan, as well as to our vision. Sadness is the sign that you would play another part instead of what has been assigned to you by God. That's a big call to action. Thus do you fail to show the world how great the happiness he wills for you, and so you do not recognize that it is yours. Today we will attempt to understand that joy is our function here. If you are sad, your part is unfulfilled, and all the world is thus deprived of joy along with you. God asks you to be happy so the world can see how much He loves His Son and wills no sorrow rise to abate His joy. No fear beset Him to disturb His peace. You are God's messenger today. You bring His happiness to all you look upon, His peace to everyone who looks on you and sees His message in your happy face. We will prepare ourselves for this day in our 5-minute practice period by feeling happiness arise in us according to our Father's will and ours. Begin with the exercise with the thought today's idea contains, and then realize your part is to be happy. Only this is asked of you or anyone else who wants to take his place among God's messengers. Think what this means. You have indeed been wrong in your belief that sacrifice is asked. You but receive according to God's plan and never lose or sacrifice or die. Now let us try to find that joy that proves to us that all the world God wills for us. Now let us try to find that joy that proves to us and all the world that God's will for us. It is your function that you find it here and that you find it now. For this you came. Let this one be the day that you succeed. Look deep within yourself, undismayed by all the little thoughts and foolish goals you pass as you ascend to meet the Christ in you. He will be there and you can reach Him now. What could you rather look upon in place of Him who waits that you may look on Him? What little thought has power to hold you back? What foolish goal can take you from success when He who calls to you is God Himself? He will be there, and you are essential to His plan. You are His messenger today, and you must find what He would have you give. Do not forget the idea for today between your hourly practice periods. It is yourself, capital S, who calls to you today. And it is Him you answer every time you tell yourself you are essential to God's plan for the salvation of the world. So, it's like that Marianne Williamson poem, like, who am I, not to be fabulous and wonderful and happy? When you step into your most happy space, that you give everyone else permission to do the same. So your happiness is important, and we need to do whatever we can to maintain our happiness. Now, what does that mean? Like, if somebody dies or if something horrible happens during the day that we want to say is horrible, like I've had people, my dad die and my mom die and my stepmom die, and very close people to me die, and I was sad. So does that mean I'm not doing God's will at that point? Well, what I like to think is that sadness comes like a rain cloud, and and it rains and it thunders for a certain period of time, and then it passes. And it's okay for us to experience a rain cloud every once in a while, but not to hold on to it, not to grab onto it, and not to make it who we are. When you experience sadness, just know for yourself that this will pass, and just like rainstorms pass. And it's not easy, because I know how painful it is when someone you love dies, but little by little we can return to our happiness. And my family has had so many deaths, and my family is a very funny group of people, and they've been through so many deaths that they say, we put the fun in funeral. So sometimes the best laughs can come in the middle of a funeral. I know it sounds insane, but it is the truth. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Don't forget, don't worry, be happy. Oh, I almost forgot. If you like this video, you can go ahead and press like, and you can subscribe, and you can share it with your friends. And if you want more tips and tools on miracles, go over to MaureenWildoon.com and sign up for my newsletter. But most importantly, stay the course.